That's good. What's up, YouTube? YouTubers? When it says one person, is it me? Am I the person? Or is someone here? Maybe someone's here. Maybe like Taylor's here, or John Bartman, or somebody. Anyway, let me know who you are if you're here. What's up, Facebook? A little bit. Ugh. Welcome, Monday night. And it's just 8 o'clock now. Oh, a couple people tuning in. Great. Steve Ross. Nice to see you, man. I hope you hear me. Maybe that's what you're responding to. That'd be good. We're going to do self-defense tonight. And I'm actually going to do interval training. So not because it's going to make it crazy cardio, but because I like the way it moves the process along, especially if the movements are familiar to you guys. So Jay Watson, how are you, man? How do I sound? Hello. Yeah, no, just to make sure we get reps and stuff. I do like how it moves along. It forces me to limit how long I talk, and it keeps me to the proper length of this class. I'm doing self-defense moves that definitely you know Steve Ross and definitely you know Jay today, and it's going to be good practice. All this stuff should be sharper. In fact, just doing it the other night, which I did on my public-facing personal page, you know, I feel it making me sharper, and I feel myself getting better at these movements. So it's always good to be doing these. Also, you know, man, if you think about it, like sometimes we learn a move and we're like, yeah, I hope I hit that next class. But sometimes we learn moves that might literally save our lives, right? So if we're going to sharpen anything, if we're going to keep anything sharp in our toolbox, let it be the self-defense moves, right? All right, very cool. Put the yo-yo away. Oh, did he say yo-yo? You guys can hear me though, yes? Wonderful. Maybe he's talking about the audio is wonderful, I hope. Okay. Let's jump in. Hey, Greg, Hannah, what's up? Nice to see you. All right, let's do this. Let's just warm up. Start with your hands, wrists, fingers. I'm going to do one leg at a time as well. This is my way. This is my warm up. And then work your way up your arms to your shoulders. So we're doing sort of arm circles here. Other way. So we got a twist at the waist here. Mostly thinking about my shoulders still though. Okay, good. Let's look left and right. So let's just like move our necks around. So like look left, look right. So we've had guys obviously compete in tournaments, and we've had really great moments in those tournaments. We've had successes, wins, or battles that people have won within matches that you know just make a coach incredibly proud. But one of the very best things that one of the best times I ever felt the best about what we do was when. And it's been a couple times now that people have told me that in altercations in real life, they have used what we did. You know, the thought that the stuff we do in class, we have a really good time, but the thought that the stuff we do in class might, save someone's life is incredible. So, Tom Peranzino had an incident where he pulled a guy out of a car that was on fire, and the guy tried to fight him. I guess the guy was trying to get back to his car to get his drugs out of it. So this is like who Tom deals with as a firefighter. So, and he was able to easily subdue the guy, take him to the ground, control it so nobody got hurt, which is exactly what you want. One time, one of our students who was a stand-up comedian went to his show that night and for some reason got in an argument with one of the guys there, and he walked outside with the guy, and the guy tried to throw a punch, and he ducked it. He just did like our self-defense class, the one we did in fight scenarios like 3 days ago. Took the guy down. No one got hurt. He didn't get punched. The other guy didn't get hurt, so he didn't get sued. Both guys walked away, and they made up later, actually. So anyway, this is the stuff that makes me feel the best as a coach, just because, as you guys, my students know, I have a self-defense bent. That's what matters the most to me, that you guys know. And then the game is fun, man. I'll play the game all the time. But self-defense is where it began, and where it began for me, and where I try to help you guys start out. So we're going to do some basic self-defense today. I'm going to turn on the timer. And what the timer does is the timer is going to give me 150 seconds to explain a move, which will be more than enough on a couple of these moves. And then for 2 minutes, you guys are going to rep. Okay. Yes, the audio. Sweet. Okay. So I'm just this is what it's going to sound like. I don't know if that was very loud. Let me turn that up. This sound here is going to be what it sounds like when a round starts. Okay. So now I have 2.5 minutes to describe to you guys the wrist grab escapes. Okay. And this is super fundamental, but even today we have, if Hannah's with us still tuned in, she's only got one class. She's only ever checked out one class as a friend of Taylor. So I'm going to teach as if someone doesn't know anything. And sometimes more advanced guys, you'll be listening to my explanation as much as you'll be thinking about the move, because you are also going to be showing this to people that you care about or that come in behind you at PMA. All right. Somebody grabs me by the wrist. One of the most important things is that I get good balance, so I don't just get pulled. So what I'm going to do is step toward them sideways. I point the dotted line between my feet at them, right? Boom. And lean away, right? Like this. If they continue to pull me and they beat me at the hip, basically, and now I'm not a single straight line, I have to fix it at my lower body, okay? So that's the first movement I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you do 3 movements. One of them is to align yourself correctly against pull, and then if somebody starts to win, fix it in your lower body. You're not going to be able to pull them back. You're going to have to move your lower body, okay? So that's the first movement. Second movement will be the wrist grab escape with one hand, where I'm going to open my hand. I'm basically going to open my hand, bring my elbow in, and bring my thumb. I'm imagining they're grabbing with the same side hand, and bring my thumb over, kind of over my shoulder. What I'm really doing is opening my hand, putting it near their wrist, and coming out behind the thumb, like this. Okay? So the whole movement is, someone grabs me and starts to pull me. I'm going to fix my body so I have like a single long angle like this. That's a good kickstand out of my front foot. And then I'm going to come out here. And then the third movement is to use your second hand. Thumb up over here. You don't have to actually put it up, but that's the direction your hand should be. Reach over and pry it out. Don't pull it out. Prying it out is putting your elbow underneath it. Okay? And that's the move we're going to do. Those are the 3 movements. I don't even have the timer in front of me, so that's just going to go off at some point. Okay? So I'm going to create my good angle. Fix it when I start to lose it. Right? And then we have the 1 hand and the 2 hand wrist grab escape. So let's have you rep it for 2 minutes. Okay? So just go ahead here. Start to lose it, fix it. In a break in the pull, you can do a 1 hand escape, or what I probably most recommend to most people, especially smaller people, is to use that second hand and pull it out. Okay? Let's do it again. Someone starts to pull me, I'm going to fix. You can really imagine, really like get pulled, imagine, right? Now we're here. Now I'm going to open my hand and come out, or turn my thumb up, reach over, and not pull, but trade. I got to trade my elbow, put that in my hand's place in space. Boom. And then I can pull out. Okay? Try the other hand. Someone starts to pull you, lean away, right? You start to lose it, fix your lower body. Okay? And when you can, you're going to break out, or thumb up. Reach in with your second hand and pry it out. Okay? This one's to pull you. Boom. Start to win. You're gonna fix your lower body when you can. You're gonna reach in and come out with a one-handed wrist escape, or turn your thumb up, reach over the top. Boom. And this is even if they're holding with one hand. You can do a two-handed escape, two-handed wrist escape, even if they're only holding your wrist with one hand. That's good for everybody to know, because that's the one you should show your kids. That's the one you should show your friends who are under 100 pounds. That's what they should do every time. Okay, so pulls, fix it, escape, pulls, fix it, two hands, pry it out. Pry out, hold. Okay, good. All right, now I will get the curriculum for myself. All right, next one is headlock with punch. This one's actually, of the moves that we're doing, is going to be maybe the one that's the most complicated. So let me just get the timer here too. I'd like to have them both on the screen. And I'm good. All right, so headlock with punch is going to be this situation right here. I'm going to be both guys, right? I put someone in a headlock. They're entirely behind me except their head, which is popping through here. Boom. Okay. So now I'm that person that got my head put in there. Right away, I'm going to reach across the person. What am I reaching across for? Well, they're going to either try to punch me with the other hand, or they're going to try to put their hands together to make a stronger vice, and both things are bad for me. So right away when my head is in here, I'm going to do, actually before even my arm, I'm going to get my base, make sure I don't get thrown around, because sometimes that's what people do, right? I'm going to get my base here, and I'm going to turn my chin so that I'm facing them, okay? So that my chin is sort of parallel with the ground, and that's what you want. When you're facing the person, if you imagine that my head is here and someone's choking it, you might be under my chin choking me. We don't want to get choked. So I face the person, okay? So phase one is survive, get your base, turn your chin in. Now, control both arms. This is one, block the far arm, try to catch it behind their back, and then catch this one around your neck and attach it to your chest. So that's phase two, control the arms. So one, control the arm, that's two, and footwork is phase three. Footwork is step back with the foot that was in front of them and stretch them out. Use your hip if you want, stretch them out. Step back with now your left foot, the other foot. Duck under and put their arm behind their back. Okay? Phase one. Boom. Phase two, arm control, arm control. Phase three, footwork. The front foot, the one in front of them, steps back. The back foot steps back. And we put their arm behind their back. Okay? So I'm in a headlock. I turn my chin to face them, and I get my balance. That's really phase one, is to survive. But not to get that second arm into play, begin to control both arms, that's phase two. So boom. We kind of do all those at the same time. All of this. Okay. Now, phase one is control. Phase two is control and control both arms. And then footwork is phase three. Step back, put their arm behind their back. Let's do it. Now you can get some reps, right? So boom. Control, footwork. Okay? So get your base and face them, reach across. Control the far arm, control the near arm. Step the front foot back, step the back foot back, and tuck. Okay? Tuck their arm. Okay. Boom. Control. You know, at your pace. I'm going to do them at my pace too. So, but I'm trying to use my imagination. I'm trying to imagine someone grabs me sort of suddenly. So, I'm just going to do a different angle in case it's helpful to you guys. So, here. Control the far arm, control the near arm. Stepping the back front foot, stepping the back foot, and putting the arm in trouble. You notice that when I connect the one to my chest, when I block this one, I connect this one to my chest, I close my elbow, it makes you stronger. No. Far arm, near arm, connect, close. Okay. If you're not imagining a bad guy grabbing your head, you could be. You could be. You should be. Okay. Next one. Bear hug under the arms. So if somebody comes in, tries to grab you under the arms for like a hug you don't want, you know why? Why do people go under your arms? Sometimes it's to pick you up. Sometimes it's like the beginning of a tackle or something like that. It's no good when they control, your torso, your hips, and your body. And that's what a bear hug is. I mean, that's essentially what it is. So what we want to do is when somebody comes in to be grabbing me around the waist, what's up, Benny Matt? We want to be doing this. And Dan Marcotte, good to see you, brother. When someone comes in to grab me around the waist under the arms, I want to stop them, but the way I'm going to stop them is not with my hands on them in a way that's not uncomfortable to them. And I'm going to use my forearm. I'm going to use the blade of my forearm. So my pinky should be facing this way, right? So not this part of my forearm. I don't push the soft part or the soft part here, like the fleshy part. It's the bony part. So that's bony part. So as somebody comes to grab around, I'm going to put this in the way of their throat coming forward. It's going to be uncomfortable to them. But so that they don't just crush it down, I support it now with a C grip. Boom, that's here. Okay. Someone comes to grab me under the arms, put this in. So I do this. Okay, that's not enough necessarily because someone could still grab my torso. Okay. So I'm going to use this to create space now with my hips. Okay. I might look like a mime in like a cube with one of those let me out guys. But anyway, that's what you should do. You should be moving you away. And what you get is this wedge effect. And you are now too hard to hold on to. Okay. And that's our immediate goal. I'm not going to teach you how to like knock the guy out just from this. But this first movement that we make shows the other person that you're not easily moved, not easily grabbed, not somebody that can be easily taken advantage of. And sometimes that's enough for a predator, for example. Okay. Someone's coming in, block the throat, C grip, like support this hand. And as they try to crush you in, you back yourself away because that is what's going to happen. Okay, so someone comes in the arms, boom, and back away. Frame, support, and back your hips away. Okay. All right. So let's have you guys practice this. You may have already gotten a few reps. It's absolutely fine with me, obviously, if you're getting more reps by doing them while I speak. But let's do them. You do some with your left hand, do some with your right hand. Okay. So the frame goes in, support with the other hand, back your hips away. Other hand maybe. Boom, boom. And back away. Imagine, do yourself that favor. Make it sort of real where you imagine somebody grabbing you around the waist and you create a frame, support it, and create space, right? So, okay. If anything, have your elbow of the frame high, because if it's low, it might be across their throat, but also across their chest, and now that doesn't hurt. You want it right across the throat and only across the throat. No extra meat. You don't want any more person because then it's running to their shoulder and that's not uncomfortable, not as uncomfortable. So if anything, when you put that frame up, your elbow can be a little bit high. Okay. Frame in, support your frame, back away. Again, imagine your bad guy. The moment I'm taking in between reps is picturing them. So. Okay, and again, we're doing 2 minutes. There's 30 seconds left. 2 minutes of reps. Right? You might be, sometimes they'll get there sooner, and you'll be more jammed up, and that's okay. You won't always just do this. Sometimes it's going to be, whoa, buddy. Okay, so. Okay. That's time on that one. Okay. Front bear hug over the arms. They pin your arms to you. Some of you guys may already know the pieces are the same. We're going to frame and create distance with our hips, okay? And then the difference is, if it's the first time you're hearing this, the difference is instead of being able to block, their very vulnerable throat to move away, we're blocking their hip bones. So even though my arms are trapped, I can block their hip bones. And I'm gonna do it with my hands like this, not like this, okay? I'm not here blocking their hips like this because one wrong move will hurt my thumb or my wrist or my forearm, right? So no, we don't want any injury here. So I'm blocking like this. I'm pinned, but I can still block the hip bones. And then I'm gonna back my hips away again, same situation, right? You may think, by the way, I just want to mention this on the other one. You may think, well, yeah, their throat is vulnerable when I block it with my hand, but why can't they just move it? And they can, but now they're not trying to bear hug you, right? And so that's good too. They can deal with the arm, or maybe grab your arm, and then now maybe you're doing this. But we are stopping a bear hug in that case. Okay. But in this one's different. This one they got us. Boom. Too late. They cut my arms. I only have these little T-Rex arms down here, right? So I'm gonna block the hips and back my hips, my own hips away. Okay. So let's get into. I got a propane heater going down here. So if I just fall asleep while I'm doing this, somebody come over here and get me. All right. So they trap my elbows, block the hips, back away. Okay. That's the idea. I'm going to cut right to our reps. Let's do it. Boom. That's this. There you go. Okay. Let's do it for a little bit of time here. So I'm going to grab. You have to picture they grab you and pin your arms. You're going to find their hip bones and back away. Okay. For those of you who know the throw, please do the throw. Right? Block the hips, back away. I'm going to open my elbow, step in, hold the waist, step in and throw. Okay? So please feel free, if you know more details, to include those details in your reps. So I get caught, back away, and some of you guys are going to switch to the throw. Okay? Arms get pinned. I'm going to back away. Pin, back away. Arms get pinned, block the hips, back my hips away. And we're going to do it for 30 more seconds. This one's very simple. Block, back away. If you're doing the throw, you're blocking, backing away. And if my nose is tending left, I'm going to open my right arm. My arm, step behind and hold their arm. Not behind, but beside them to T position. Now you can hold on to them. Walk that tightrope in front. Near ski, far ski, and throw. Okay. Pin, block, move, open. Move. Now near ski, far ski, for a throw. Okay. Good. That's about 30 more seconds. So now, getting choked against the wall. So sometimes we'll do the somebody chokes me until I tap, right? So we're talking about against the wall. So there's a wall. Someone's choking me against the wall. Sometimes we'll do the exercise, and I think it's a really important one, where someone chokes, and then we tap out, and we say, okay, well, yes, that's a real way to knock someone out. Okay, but then we practice hardening the front of our neck. So the way we harden the front of our neck is to show our bottom teeth and tuck our chin, these two things, and shrug. Okay. So my neck is hidden now. It's actually very hard to get in. So if I can, before someone gets in, then they'll never even make contact with my Adam's apple, or would-be Adam's apple for the females, right? But even if they do, what we find when we do this in class, when somebody puts their hand on the throat, even if they're already under the chin, and I do everything else about the ugly face, chin down, show my bottom teeth, and shrug, what we find is they can lean and lean and lean, and even smaller people against bigger people can last to where they never have to tap. I don't think I've ever been tapped that way. So the front of our neck is strong, okay? But then the move is going to be pretty simple. When someone chokes me against the wall, they're going to have 4 fingers on one side and just their thumb on the other. When they choke, we're talking about a one-hand choke against the wall. Okay, so I'm going to go to the side. Let's say it's this side, that has just the thumb. I'll be against the wall, but I'm going to raise my hand up like this, not like a fly swatter, but like a battering ram, and I'm going to knock it off. So they are holding on to me here, and I'm going to hit them in the forearm. I twist my body and untwist with an elbow. We have options there. You can do a guillotine as well, but we're going to do I'll describe the elbow. You guys can do both. So against the wall, someone's thumb is on this side. So I'm going to do this. Knock it off here, and I come back with an elbow. Keep in mind that when someone's leaning all their weight on me, pinning me against the wall, nobody kind of just hangs out and does this, right? So when they're leaning against me, and I knock that off, they'll probably fall forward. That's what I'm counting on here. Ugly face. Don't forget the ugly face during your reps. Knock it off and elbow. All right, so let's do this for 2 minutes, okay? Against the wall. Ugly face. Battering ram. And really twist your body so that when you untwist, you get power with this elbow. I allow my right heel to come off the floor when I turn left. Boom, because now my hips can completely go into that movement. So I'm here, ugly face. Ugly face first. Do it every rep because that's the one thing we forget in class is to do the ugly face. Sometimes we just do this, but okay, so. Also, I bend my knees a little bit. You want to have balance even though you're against the wall. Wall supports you, but you want to have your own balance, your ability to move as well. So ugly face and sink into your race. Face and face, right? Face and face, knock it off, come back with the elbow. Good. Make sure you're shrugging your shoulders too. I'm correcting myself, really. Here, knock that off and come back. Shrugging teeth, chin. Battering ram, elbow, right? So base and face, and shoulders and chin. Knock that off and come back with the elbow, okay? You might have to practice the other side. Don't forget, so in our last sort of 30 seconds of repping here, let's have you guys practice the other side. Against the wall. This time the thumb is on this side. Knock it off and come back with the elbow. Here, knock it off and come back with the elbow. Make your whole ugly face, right? 3 pieces. Your chin, your teeth, and your shoulders. And bend your knees. Battering ram, elbow. Here, battering ram. Try to put your elbow through the wall. Last one. Okay. Cool. And then we actually only have 2 more. We actually only have 2 more. How are we for time? Yeah, we're just about, I think where I expected. Okay. Let's do standing rear choke is going to be very simple. In fact, well, when somebody grabs me from behind and they just grab my neck, and maybe they're even trying to choke me, that could be the case. And maybe they're even trying to choke me with a legit rear naked choke. The reason we put hooks and harness in when we take someone's back as like professional back taking jiu-jitsu people, the reason we put our hooks in too is so someone doesn't just throw us over our arm control, over the harness, right? We need both pieces. So if someone comes up behind me and they put in a choke, I'm going to do this. If they're upright and their hips are basically behind and square with mine, I'm going to connect to their arm. So that's 2 little hooks coming in. In fact, I might even open my chin a little bit to get that space to put these in. And then I'm not pulling the arm away, even though they're pulling this way. I don't pull the opposite direction. I actually I go with their pull, but I just redirect it to my collarbones, to my chest. So they can pull back, but they're going to choke my chest, okay? Now I should also, as soon as someone grabs me, I should get my base a little bit. So I'm in bent knees, control this. And now I'm looking with my butt for their middle quad, halfway to their knee, mid quad. That's where I want to make contact with my butt. No, make contact there, wherever that is. They might be short and you have to squat further, or you might just be there if they're, 6'5". So we're here. Find their mid quad with your butt, and then lean forward. What happens is you're controlling their arm. You have their arm now because you're controlling it. And when you make contact here and you lean forward, their legs are going to come off the ground. You'll be able to just throw them, right? Okay. So someone grabs me from behind, I'm also making an ugly face. I mean, this is like a piece of every choke because I'm kind of here, tucking my chin against. my chest, ugly face, bottom teeth, right? I'm shrugging. And then I look with my butt for their quads, and I should be able to just scoop them up and not only pick them up, but if it was this arm that came around and I look in the direction their hand was going over my knee, that's all it takes to throw them. You don't have to twist at the low back. I don't recommend it. Not good, especially a dry fire, like with nobody on your back. Do not be bending over, twisting your back. I don't want any calls from people who threw their back out doing this. It really should be just look past your knee. So someone grabs me, I'm here, look for their mid quad with your butt, lean over and just look past your left knee, right? That's enough. Don't be twisting while bent, okay? Grab their arm, attach it to your chest, ugly face, right? Look for their quad with your butt and throw. Okay? Someone grabs you, stand there, unawares. Imagine an arm comes around. Ugly face and base, right? Those are huge. All right, now look for their quad, pick them up. Okay? We're here and here. You may find sometimes that it helps to walk backwards to pick them up. So it would be a little walk back. It would be like this. Just scoot, scoot, scoot. And that's enough to get under somebody who might not be connected to you, like you can't find their quad with your butt. Just walk backwards. It's fine. So I'm here. If someone's not right here, I will kind of run backwards, scoot backwards. A running scoot. Here, pick them up. Remember the ugly face every time. I think it's the most forgotten detail. Here. Sometimes it's easy. You don't need to scoot. Here. Right, picture different heights. Try somebody real short behind you, grabs your neck. Well, you're going to have to get your butt lower, so bend at the knees. Walk backwards if you need to. Last one. Here. Good. Not the last one. Sorry, you have 10 seconds left. So keep going. Staying retro. Boom. Ugly face every time. Last one. Ugly face. Base. Okay. Good. And last one that we'll rep is the same thing. Someone grabs me from behind but leans me back. Okay. This one's just a very simple 3-step answer. And worth solo drilling. I was doing it the other day, and again, when you solo drill, you can just feel it sharpen. So that's really good for us to be here doing this. When they choke me with their right arm, their right foot is forward, and you can be a bad guy for a second if you want. Chokes an imaginary person in front of you, and lean them back. Leaning back like this is kind of weird, right? We're both falling at that point. So I do want to step back. So reach your right arm around someone's throat. Which leg are you going to step back with to drag them back? If you step back with your right foot, they're just going to, first of all, you're just going to pull them past you. But even if you try to put them against your hip, super uncomfortable. It's not how it's going to happen. Someone grabs you with their right arm, they're going to lean you over their right hip. This is comfortable to do. It's what every person, trained or untrained, would do to take your balance away. And that's what it does, and it's good for that reason. I mean, honestly, it's a good attack. It's better than this, just grabbing somebody. Bending them backwards, you take away their ability maybe to throw you. But it doesn't take any training to know you don't want the person to have good balance. And maybe it's like they're trying to drag you away or something. Okay, so with the right arm and the right foot forward, they're grabbing you. So we're going to do this. Let me do it this way. Right foot forward, right arm is grabbing you. I'm going to do this. I always do this first. I'm going to try to get my base. And I'm going to hook and connect and ugly face and connect it to my chest. And I know that their right foot is right here for the reason we just said. I saw the right arm come around, so the right foot's right here. So I'm going to put my right toes on the ground next to their leg. So I'm calf to calf with them. Put my elbow in my pocket. And then over the toes that are on the floor, I'm like a compass. I do a 180 and I draw a circle. Now I have good balance. And they, who had good balance even though they were leaning backwards, now they're over here and they're falling down. Okay, I'm gonna change my angle a little bit for Facebook. If I can do that without losing. Oh, I can do this. Okay. Someone comes up behind. I'm here and they lean me back. I know their foot's here. My foot goes on the ground here. Elbow in my pocket on that same side, right elbow. Don't turn around yet. Still facing forward, elbow in your pocket. And now turn around And when you bow, you'll be throwing the person. Okay? So go ahead. Someone grabs you and they lean you back. So ugly face and try to get your base, even though you're leaning back. Now, your toes are on the ground, not your whole foot. You're just your toes. Calf to calf down here. Elbow in your pocket, still facing forward. Now lean with your head and do kind of that 180 right here and bow to throw your person. Okay? So we're here. Calf to calf, elbow in your pocket, 180, bow. You grab your ugly face. Don't forget, you get lean back, calf to calf, elbow in your pocket, 180, and bow for the throw. Someone reaches up. I'm unaware. Someone sneaks up behind me. They lean me back. Right? I'm going to try to get my base, get my hands in and attach their arm to my chest, make my ugly face. Calf to calf, elbow in my pocket, and a 180, and bow. And because they're here, when you bow, you're going to throw them to the ground with actually a ton of leverage on your side. So you don't need to bow that hard when we're in class. Even though we have mats, I've seen people almost get knocked out. Okay, someone grabs me. Whoa. Right, calf to calf, elbow in my pocket, 180, bow. So, right, be using your imagination. Imagine that you got grabbed unawares, right? You're just minding your own, stand straight up, whatever. And someone goes behind you. Calf to calf, elbow in your pocket, 180, and a bow. Okay, last one. Someone grabs me up here, calf to calf, and bow. Okay, good. That's our last kind of 2 seconds here. Good. And let me do, I'm probably good here. And that is it for, that's the end of our rounds. So, again, that's some self-defense. Hey, Taylor, what's up? Good to see you. I'm glad that a few of you guys caught us here on YouTube. I'm good to see you guys on Facebook. After this class, so in 7-8 minutes, I'm going to go live on Zoom. So PMA people, you know where the link is, or should. It's in Slack and it's in Facebook for the Monday night class. Monday night class format has changed a little bit. So now it's not just our videos of us sparring. Now it's anytime jiu-jitsu was in a match. But that opens the field wide open for, there's a lot of historic, super cool matches. I've done a lot of research on my own last week on, in anticipation of tonight and future Mondays, of a list of like some best of fights you have to see if you do jiu-jitsu. Like you got to see, Eddie Bravo versus Hoyler, and you've got to see, Jacare versus Roger Gracie, or Roger Gracie versus BJJ. Like these are guys you're going to want to hear their names. You're going to want to see the stuff. If you're new to jiu-jitsu, get to know it by watching the most historic fights, the most exciting fights. Like that's why these are on best of lists. We're going to start tonight with UFC 1, where we're going to watch how Royce Gracie used jiu-jitsu in the first UFC to establish jiu-jitsu. None of us would be doing jiu-jitsu. I can promise you that. If Royce hadn't had the performance he had at UFC 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. 4 he wasn't in, I think. Okay, so we're going to watch early days UFC. That's 1993. November of 1993 in Colorado is where it all sort of started in America. And when it started in America and it got big here, it got big everywhere. So this is an exciting thing to watch. I'm happy to watch it with you guys, and we'll pause it and do commentary and questions if you guys have them. But I look forward to that, and I look forward to doing more stuff with you guys tomorrow night in class. Thanks for being here. Yes. All right, guys.